Hey guys, welcome to our channel and welcome back to our channel if you've been here before. We are Six-Sided Scribes. My name is Jugal.
And I'm Nahal, and thank you for staying with us. I know we've been away for quite a while and we do apologize for that, but we thought we'd just take a bit of a break between editions, get some models painted, and sort of wrap our heads around all the releases that were coming at a drip feed rate from GW. But either way, we're back today and we've got a fantastic mission for you. Our first game in 10th ed, actually.
Yeah. So today is a 2000 point match play between Dark Angels and Votann. So today's mission is a Dawn of War deployment for the Sites of Power. And the little twist in today's game is it's a minefield. So if you advance a 6, you take a mortal wound.
Yep, pretty much. So naturally we'll be fighting along the long edges of the battlefield, trying to get onto the midfield objectives with our characters, because that's how you score VP. But without any further ado, let's get into the lists. So for the Dark Angels today, I'm running a 2000 point Gladius Task Force detachment. Of course, my warlord today is none other than Lionel Johnson. So he's going to be, he's coming up with his big power sword and he's going to be chopping things up. Alongside him, I have Azrael for that sweet CP and the 4-up-in-1 across whatever unit he's attached to. With him, I've got a chaplain on bike, and he has the bolted discipline enhancement, so he's going to be giving my units sustained hits, which will hopefully translate even more to devastating wounds. The fourth character I have is a model that I actually haven't really taken out before. He's a lieutenant in Phobos armor. I'm here just checking him out, having some fun and seeing what I can do with him. In my battle line, I've just got one squad of intercessors. Sergeant's got a power sword and there's a grenade launcher in the squad. Pretty straightforward. Moving on to my other squads, I've got a big 10-man brick of the Deathwing Command. Of course, there's the Apothecary, Champion, and the Ancient in there, but alongside that, there is 5 Thunder Hammers, 2 Cyclone Missile Launchers, and 2 Chain Fists. With the Deathwing, I also have a force of Ravenwing, which is a squad of 6 Ravenwing Black Knights. They're going to be really fun with their plasma guns and the anti-monster, anti-vehicle on their Corvus Hammers. Specialist units aside, I have also taken out a squad of Reavers, which didn't really see much play in 9th, but I'm hoping will get to come out a lot more in 10th. And I've also taken out for the first time on this channel an Invictor Tactical Warsuit. So he's going to be running out protecting my Phobos units and having some fun along the way. And while we're on the topic of scouts, I've also got a simple squad of scouts, 5-man strong, and a missile launcher in the pack. And to finish off the list, because I've taken Azrael and I'm playing Dark Angels, it would not be a good list if I didn't take some Hellblasters, of which I have taken 10. This is going to be fun, but they round out my list. And without any further ado, let's see what the Votann have got.
So today for the Votann, I'm bringing 2000 points in an Oathband detachment. Now in this detachment, I'm running 4 characters, beginning with a Brothkir Ironmaster. I've given him the long list enhancement. Now this means that every time he kills a unit with the judgment token, he can point another one visible and pass it on to them. Now in next character, I'm bringing an Ioneer Champion, and he has the Wayfarer's Grace. This means that when he dies, I roll a dice, and on a 2+, he gets back with all his wounds. Now my third character is a Grimnir. Now he has no special enhancement, but he does give him the unit he's attached to +1 toughness. Last but not least is my Karl. Now he is my warlord, and I've given him the Appraising Gaze, which means I can pick one objective that my opponent is currently controlling, and all of his units that are within range of that objective count as having 1 judgment token in addition. Now in my battle lines, I'm bringing 4 squads of 10 Hearthkin warriors. Now each of them has special weapons and are fully kitted out with all the war gear options that they can take. Moving on to the dedicated transport, I have 1 Sagittor, whose special ability is I can disembark after advancing, and gives me the option to essentially combat squad one of the 10-man squads of Hearthkin into 2 smaller 5-man squads. I have a min squad of Chthonian Berserks with the concussive mauls. I am also bringing a 5-man squad of Hearth Guard, who have the good 2-up armors and are essentially the best units in the Votann right now. In addition, I also have a Hecaton Land Fortress with a heavy Magna Rail rifle, just to scare my opponent. And the mainstay of my army is 3 squads of Hearthkin Pioneers, 2 3-man squads, and 1 6-man squad. So that right there is my 2000 points of Votann. Without further ado, let's move on to the game.
Okay, here we are. So this is the battlefield that we're going to be fighting on today. As you can see, it's a ruined Imperial city, which the Dark Angels and the Votann are going to be fighting over. As we said earlier, this is a Dawn of War deployment. So the Dark Angels have deployed on this side of the battlefield with the Votann on that side. The midfield objectives that we're going to be fighting on are here. There's one more in the middle and one more mirroring the first one there, with one in each home field objective here and there. But yeah, so basically we're going to be fighting over and trying to get these objectives empowered with our characters, which is the mission of the game. But if we advance, naturally you can see craters, so mines have gone off. So Jugs, with that out of the way, do you want to talk us through what you've done with the deployment?
All right, so I won the roll off, so I went with the attacker, so I deployed second, forcing my opponent to deploy his first units.
Yep.
I've started with putting my 5-man squad of Hearthguard in deep strike with the Ionia champion. The Berserks are starting within the Hecaton, and a 5-man squad of Bolt Guns, Hearthkin, are starting in the Sagittor. So the Sagittor is over here. I've put a 3-man squad of Bikes here, a 10-man squad of Bolt Gun Hearthkin with the Carl sitting in the building back here, hoping to get some line of sight. The other 5-man squad of Hearthkin, I got combat squadrons just back here. Over here, I've got a 10-man squad of Iron Blasters with the Grimnir, so I'm hoping to capitalize on his +1 toughness, make them some more survivable. On the far end over here, I've got another 10-man squad of Bolt Guns with the Iron Master back here. So I'm hoping, their +1 hit will really come into benefit. And the 6-man squad of Bikes sitting back in this corner.
Okay.
Well, with that, let's just hope my 9 scout move on my Bikes really help me with my missions. And yes, what about the Dark Angels?
Okay, so the Dark Angels on this side of town. I have started with my Reavers and my Phobos Lieutenant off in Deep Strike. So they do have Graph Shoes and Grapnel Launchers, which gives me the rule to actually do that. On to what's on the table. I've got Azrael, of course, leading my 10-man squad of Hellblasters over there. They're just hiding all behind this building, not touching it, so obscured. I've got my Tactical Warsuit over here. I've got a squad of Infiltrators just outside the deployment zone, again behind this building, but within range of the Warsuit, so they're going to have to deal with the Warsuit if anyone messes with them. Over behind this tiny building, I've got a squad of Intercessors here. They're within 3 of that objective there, but behind them is a squad of my Black Knights, led by the Chaplain with Bolter Discipline, and then over here is also the Lion, so he's within 3 of the Bikes and the Intercessors here. Over on this side of the board, I've got my 10-man squad of Terminators, so the ones that are on top of the building, which are just up there for convenience, they're actually on the bottom floor in that space there. And over here, I've got my Scout Squads, that's what they're called. Over here, I've got my Scout Squad, so the idea is they're going to be running up and hopefully getting onto that objective. So, pretty quick, pretty decent deployment here. Ready to see who goes first, Jukes?
Yes, this should be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see how we do. Black versus white.
Okay, so, alrighty. What do you want to do, actually? Do you want to go first?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
6.
And a 2. Alrighty. Looks like it's
Votann is going first.
Yep. And we will be back after the movement phase for Votann turn 1.
Here we are with Votann turn 1. We're coming to you after the end of the movement phase. So I'm going to talk you through my command phases first and then show you what I've done in the movement. So in the command phase, I drew my secondaries. So I drew No Prisoners and Cleanse. No Prisoners kind of works well if I'm going first. Cleanse maybe might work, might not work. I made some moves towards it. So my Carl really couldn't see anyone in the command phase, but he could see the Infiltrators, so he put a 1 judgment token on them. And I moved a lot of my Bikes with a 9 scout move. My opponent reciprocated with his scout moves. And now onto the movement. Let's start over here. Now I was lucky enough that when I scout moved my Bikes, my 6-man came within 3 inches of the objective here. And my 3-man had moved from here into the center field. which meant at the end of my command phase, I was actually holding 2 objective markers. So that gave me a cheeky little 6 victory points at the start of my turn. And my bikes had scout moved just up till here, 9 inches. They were just about 2 inches out from the objective, so I couldn't really do anything there. But now moving on to the movement, let's continue from here. So these bikes essentially just shimmied up just on the side here so I can get a line of sight at the scouts, but I'm still 11-inch charge away from the Terminators. So hopefully he's not brazen enough to try a 12-inch charge. My Hearthkin from back here made a 6-inch advance to come into the center field. Now, none of the guns are assault except for the 2 special weapons, so I'm hoping that their guns can maybe kill the scouts if the bikes do fail. But because of our mission rule, because I rolled an advance of 6, I suffered a mortal wound and just chose to take it on one of the corvies. So my Hackathon just moved up 10 inches over here and has line of sight at the Invicta Tactical Warsuit and the Infiltrators. So I'm hoping to at least kill that unit towards my no prisoners. My Hearthkin moved 5 inches out from here and again have line of sight at the Infiltrators. My Sagittor moved up right beside the building, and then I disembarked my warriors over here. Now the hope is I'm going to try to get them to cleanse their objective, but I'm cautious. I'm optimistically cautious. The 3-man bikes that were over here, I moved them on top of the building. So most of them have line of sight at the Invicta Tactical Warsuit or just an arm of him. Or if not that, they still have line of sight at the Hellblasters at the far end. Now I'm being a little cautious with them because my bikes are the mainstay of my army, and I don't want to give the line too much to charge in the first turn. My 10-man squad of Hearthkin from here with the Ironmaster made a 2-inch advance, and they sort of come up here trying to hide behind the big building. And the 6-man squad has moved up 12 inches over here, and they all have line of sight at the Hellblasters and are within 12 inches of the shotguns as well. So hopefully that does some work.
Okay, that's a lot of tactical play here, a lot of things lined up to do a lot of damage to the Dark Angels. Now, you want to get into the shooting phase and see what damage you actually do to the Dark Angels?
Yes, yes I am.
Okay, let's start.
So I'm starting this turn at 1 CP, which I gained in the command phase, and I will be spending it now on Ancestral Sentence on the bikes. So when they're shooting at the Hellblasters, they get sustained hits 1.
Okay, nice.
So that should be useful.
Yep, I'll spend the 1 CP that I got in my turn to give them Armor of Contempt because I can see a lot of firepower coming their way.
Alright, I checked on the war gear for my bikes. Now they do have a comms array, so I got a roll of dice, and on a 5+, I got the CP back.
That happened off camera, I should add.
Yes, so you can definitely trust us. Starting with the shotguns into the Hellblasters. So hitting on 4s, sustained hits. So strength 5, toughness 4, so I'm wounding on 3s.
Okay, so I'm looking for a 3-up save here. Nope.
That's 1 damage. Now we're going with the high las rotary cannons, guns on top. Hitting on 4s, sustained hits 1. Because
of Armor of Contempt, I get a 3-up save again, of which I make 2. So
1 damage each.
1 damage each. So 1 dies and 1 is on 1 wound. Let's see if on a 3-up he gets to shoot back before he goes. Yes, he does.
Now for the Magna Coil guns from the bikes themselves. Hitting on 4s, 6s exploding. So I'm wounding on 3s. 7.
12 3-ups is what we want. Okay, there's a bunch there. No 2s, but kills 1 guy, kills 2 guys, kills 3 guys, kills 4 guys, and kills 5 guys. Let's see if they shoot on death before they go. So of these 5 guys, in addition to the first guy there, 2 more shoot. Okay. So he has 6 shots from 3 guys, supercharging, because why not? They're already dead. Hitting on 3s with sustained hits.
T6.
So strength 8, so 3s. That's 2 wounds at AP3.
At AP3, I'll take it on the guy in light cover, so that goes to AP2, so it gives me 6 up saves at least. Watch me roll 2 6s.
You roll 1.
1 6. So that's 2 damage?
Yep.
So it puts 1 guy on 1 wound.
Okay.
Now that was impressive shooting against the Hellblasters. Now let's come to the other side of the board.
Okay, bring on the
So
pain.
now I'm going to try to take the scouts down. So I'll start with this squad of Hunkin. Now they've advanced, so most of them can't shoot, but one of them has a high-las auto rifle in there, which is assault weapon. So this one guy can shoot at the scouts.
Okay.
So the high-las auto rifle is rapid fire 3, so it's got 6 shots, hitting on 4s. So strength 6 was toughness 4, so I'm wounding you on 3s.
So I need 5s on the scouts. I make 1, so 1 scout dies and 1 is on 1 wound.
Now let's come over to the bikes. Let's see if these bikes can wipe that squad out.
Probably. Let's see.
So 6 shots from the high-las rotary cannon. So hitting on 4, 6 sustained hits 1. Wounding you on 3s.
So with the cover save,
Nope.
I think I make that.
Now for the Magna Column cannons. Hitting on 4s. Wounding you on 3s.
4 ups. Okay, make 3. 1 scout dies. Okay, I can live with that.
Coming over here. Now this squad is going to try to cleanse this action because they're eligible to shoot. They just can't charge. But moving on from here, I'm going to start with the Sagittor. He's going to put some shots into the infiltrators from here.
Yep.
So he's got a twin bolt cannon. So 3 shots, sustained hits 1 and twin length. They do have a judgment token on them, so they're +1 to hit. So I'm hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s, but re-rolling because twin linked.
3 ups. What I want. Makes 1, takes 1. So 1 infiltrator dies. So 6 of female based on the Helix gauntlets. Nope, he still dies.
And now for the L7 missile launcher. So 1 shot. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 2s because I'm strength 9.
4 up. No. Oh, wow. Okay.
D6 damage.
Roll a 1. Oh, nope, 6. Overkill.
Okay, that's another one dead. And I've got 2 Sagittor missiles. So hitting on 3s. Both hit. Wounding on 2s because strength 8. Both wound at AP -3.
Okay, AP 3.
Yeah. At flat 3 damage.
That's two more dead. 3 more dead actually from the squad. So that would, I think, just leave the sergeant.
All right, moving on. So we're going to move with the Hecaton Land Fortress now. I'm going to put the heavy Magna Rail cannon into the Invicta Tactical Warsuit. Hopefully kill it. But all the other guns, which are 2 twin-linked bolt cannons and the Matter autocannon, will be going into this 1 infiltrator. Starting with the 2 twin bolt cannons into the infiltrator. So hitting on 3s because he has a judgment token. Wounding on 3s, but they're twin-linked, so I'm re-rolling the wound roll. That's 3 at AP -1, 2 damage, and I'm certain you won't get light cover from my line of sight.
Nope, I will not. Nope, he's dead. Okay.
Now for the 1 heavy Magna Rail into the Invicta Tactical Warsuit. Hitting on 4s. That's a hit.
Oh, wow, okay.
Wounding on 2s.
Oof. Okay.
That's a wound, but no mortal wounds.
Given he can see the full model, I don't think I get a cover save on that. So roll your damage, sir.
So D6 + 6. 12.
Okay.
How many wounds is the Invicta Tactical Warsuit?
Exactly 12 wounds. So does he explode? Nope.
So I've still got the shooting left from my bikes here, and they can target the Black Knights, but I think I'm going to target the Hellblasters from where they are.
Okay.
So let's see how this goes. So the Matter autocannons. So 3 shots each from each bike, hitting on 4s.
3 up armors. Does he shoot back on that? No, he does not.
So 6 shots from the rotary cannon, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s.
3 AP0, so 3 ups. Okay, makes 2.
He takes 1 damage.
Okay, so now I'm down to 3 Hellblasters. Wow, the Dark Angels really took a beating this turn.
Yes. With the 2 units dead, I do get 4 victory points for my no prisoners. This 1 objective has been cleansed, but outside of that, I don't know. I need to decide whether I'm going to give up my secondaries now. I think I'll take my wins and change out my secondaries at this point.
Okay.
Because I can't afford to keep shutting down units for cleanse.
Okay, sounds good.
Alrighty, so I'll be ending this turn with 6 victory points from primaries and another 7 victory points from my secondaries.
That's a strong coming for the first turn for the Leagues of Votann. We'll be back
you're going to make me you're going to punish me back because the lion's right there and I can see units you can charge.
Oh yeah, he is. And yeah, so we'll see what vengeance the Dark Angels bring back. after their movement phase in turn 1. Okay, so we're back at the end of turn 1 movement phase for the Dark Angels. It's been a rough turn 1 for me from the Votann side of things, so I've had to be a little creative in what I have done. My dice, well, it's on the day of filming, it's Sunday, but my dice seem to have gotten their days wrong because they think it's Tuesday because they keep rolling 2s.
Please don't laugh at that.
But first things first, in the command phase, I took a battle shock test on my Hellblasters and Azrael. They were fine. The Scouts were fine. They didn't lose anything. They didn't need battle shock, and the Infiltrators didn't need battle shock on account of they were dead. I put my Oath of Moment onto this big squad of bikes because they need to die. And I have also put my entire army in Assault Doctrine for advance and charge. Having said that, I spent 1 CP on Adaptive Strategy to put my Black Knights into Devastator Doctrine, so now they can advance and shoot. Besides that, we did a bunch of movements, everything else, and a bunch of advances every chance we got. So the Scouts advanced 2, managed to get just enough to get onto this objective. Unfortunately, they can't advance and shoot, so they can't cleanse, but they're just going to hold it for me and get me my extend battle lines. The Terminators advanced another 2, and now they've got a 6 in charge, or a 5 in charge, I think, into the Hearthkin Warriors over there, so that'll be fun. The Lion over here advanced yet another 2, and he's ended up there. Hopefully I can clean out this squad of Hearthkin Warriors and then get around to maybe get into the Sajador, or maybe even the bikes, I'm not sure. Over here, the bikes, as you guessed it, nope, they did not advance 2, but they advanced 6, ended up taking a mortal wound, which I will now put on the guy on the back, thanks to a minefield. You'd think for Ravenwing they'd be better. And over here, Azrael just moved. So from where I am, he's hopefully going to make a 6 in charge into those bikes if the Black Knights don't kill them first. Or if not, the Hellblasters do have line of sight into the Hearthkin Warriors there, which is why Azrael is inside the building while the Hellblasters are not. And the Intercessors, of course, over here just sort of spread out a little bit just to deep strike deny this area and to get line of sight onto the Hearthkin Warriors over there. Maybe clean them out if possible, and try to create a path for the line. Okay, having said that, let's get into the shooting phase. Now, let's start over here with the Black Knights going into the bikes. Now remember, the bikes are Oath of Moment, and I've got Bolter Discipline on my Chaplain. Also, now the Pioneers are within range of the Chaplain's litany, so he can basically point at them and give them give his bikes the Catechism of Fire. So now their guns are now devastating wounds. And of the 6 bikes, 3 of them are within rapid fire range. So these 3 have 3 shots each, while the other 3 have 2 shots each. He has 15 dice, hoping for 5s. And I reroll all these because of the moment. Wounding on 3s, fishing for 6s. Rerolling. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 2 is 12 mortal wounds with 4, 8, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 saves. 9 saves and another 12 mortal wounds at AP 3. So that's that unit gone.
And because of that, they get judged.
Let's now move on with these Hellblasters. Azrael does have line of sight onto these bikes up here through that little window. Mm-hmm. So Azrael will shoot into these bikes up here. The Hellblasters will shoot into the Hearthkin Warriors back here.
Okay.
But first, I need to take hazardous tests for my guys.
Yes, please. Come on, roll your ones.
Right. So let's work in order. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 1, he's fine. 2 is fine. 3 is fine. 4 is fine. 5 is fine. And 6 is fine. They are all fine. Perfect.
Why do you get all your ones in the first turn?
Let's do the Hellblasters into the Hearthkin now.
Yes.
So that is 4, 5. That is 6 shots. With sustained hits, 1 from Azrael. Let's see what we can do. Wounding on 3s.
So 3 with light cover, so that's a 5 up armor saves on each of them.
Okay, now Azrael will unleash his Lion's Wrath onto your bikes. Hitting on 2s. Oh, it's a hit. D6, but so aiming for 3s. That's 2 wounds, and that's a devastating wound.
6 up armor save.
Nope. Yep, and that's 2 damage.
So that's 1 dead. 1 dead and 1 on 2 wounds, because the mortal wounds are counted afterwards.
Now let's go on to these intercessors and get them to unload into the remaining 2 Hearthkin over there. Hopefully they can put them down. So there's 5 bolt rifles in there with a grenade launcher. Let's see what they can do. So that is 10 shots from the bolt rifles. The red die is a crack grenade. So 5s on the black and 3s on the red. Oh boy, okay. So 2 5s on the black. Please fail these at AP 1.
5 ups. 1 Hearthkin is going to try to stand against the lion.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Okay, so I think that's all my shooting done. We'll be back after we roll for some charges and we've moved our models. Okay, so we're back at the end of the charge phase. No twos here, but we did make all our charges. So over here, the lion basically made a 6 in charge when he needed 5, and he's basically tagged both the 1 remaining Hearthkin warrior there, as well as the Sagittal. Over here, my Terminators needed a 5.5 in charge. They ended up rolling an 8, so they actually managed to get all the way around, tie up the all the Hearthkin warriors, and I've also taken the liberty to pile in because the way they ended up was the Apothecary was sort of combat, as well as the one guy there with the Cyclone missile launcher. So now they've piled in. They're in base-to-base contact as well. And let's get fighting. So on the Terminators, I also spent 1 CP for Honor the Chapter. So all their weapons now have lance, and because they're in the Assault Doctrine, they also have an additional perk of AP, which is going to be super fun.
Before you start, I'm going to spend 1 CP for Void Armor on them, so it reduces AP by 1.
So,
and because they have a comms array, on a 5+, I get the CP back. So let's see. No.
Nope, close.
So I'm down to 1 CP, and my warriors over here are now reduced AP by 1, so I still have a fighting chance.
Let's start with the Thunderhammers. So that's 15 Thunderhammer attacks coming into the Hearthkin warriors there, hitting on 4s. And these will be wounding on 2s, but we're aiming for 6s because Thunderhammers are devastating wounds. Okay, whoa, wow. 1, 2, and 3 devastating wounds.
That's not
and then 3, 4, 5, 6 regular wounds. Now for the champion, who has the Halberd of Caliban going into the Grimnir with precision and lance. 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. Okay. And your Grimnir tough 6?
Yes, he gives +1 toughness to the unit he's leading.
So he's tough 6?
Yeah.
Okay. So he is now wounding on 3s.
So I'll just reload that because it fell out of the box. Nope. It damages.
2 damage each.
Oh, he's dead.
Okay, so that's the Grimnir gone as well. And my chain fists are wasted. So what I'll do is I'll basically consolidate into the Hecaton once you've removed your dead over there. But now let's move into the line. So I'm going to put 2 attacks into the 1 lone Hearthkin over there, and the other 6 are going to go into the Sagittal. Okay, so here's 6 attacks from Fealty going into the Sagittal, and the other 2 into the 1 lone Hearthkin. Hitting on 2s, wounding on the other 5, on 3s. So that is 4 more.
At AP?
AP 4 damage each.
Oh, I think he's well and truly dead. I can't do anything to stop that. Yeah, does he blow up?
Please blow up. No, quite the opposite. He implodes. Now for the other 2 attacks into the 1 lone Hearthkin. They hit.
I think it's safe to say he's just dead. I'm
he's
going to pull
dead.
away from the dice at this point. Okay, now that little stunt earned the lion 2 judgment tokens.
Okay, and because he is where he is, I will actually consolidate
the bicycles.
Yep, into the bikes. So the lion will consolidate into the bikes.
Okay. Which means the bikes get to fight back, as pitiful as that may be. Let's see how that goes. So now the bikes fighting back into the lion. They have plasma knives, so 2 shots each. Hitting on 4s, because the judgment tokens don't kick in yet, and so much for that. Why are you always hitting on 4s? Okay. With that, you want to just tally up your scores? Because we'll remove the dead in a minute.
Okay, so I haven't had a chance to cleanse anything yet. In all likelihood, I might also discard this secondary. And I did get extend battle line. So I'm holding 1 in my deployment zone with my intercessors, and I'm holding 1 or more. So that's achieved, I get 5. And that's my only scoring this turn, actually. Yeah, so we'll be back after Leagues of Votann turn 2.
Here we are at Votann turn 2 after the movement phase. It is a lot of deciding, but let me walk you through my decision process as we go. Starting with the command phase, I drew 2 new secondaries. So I drew secure no man's land, which means I need to hold at least 1 or 2 objective markers in no man's land. Tricky, but I think it's doable. And overwhelming force, where I need to kill units off of objectives. So I've already got 2 units lined up. Hopefully they should be easy targets to go down, but you never know with the dice.
Is one of them the lion?
Yes, but he's not the one I'm hoping for. Like the one I want to kill for secondary or elsewhere. Okay. The lion has to die for reasons.
Okay.
Whole other reasons. So in the movement phase, I've moved the squad 5 inches up this way. So they're holding their objective. Should get me towards my secure no man's land. They got quite a bit of guns, quite a bit of targets. They can do their thing. I should mention in the command phase, I used the appraising gaze from my Carl to give the Black Knights +1 judgment token, so they're gone up to 2. And I used his enhancement, the appraising gaze, to pick this objective. So therefore, the scouts and the terminators have gone up 1 judgment token each. Or as long as they're within range of that objective. It's not permanent.
Okay.
Now moving on to the movement phase. These units have stayed where they are. The Hecaton has stayed where they are. The Chthonian Berserks have disembarked and moved towards the lion. They're going to make a suicidal charge at the lion. The bike squad over here has just moved up 12 inches this way. They're hoping to shoot and kill the scouts out. If they don't, I can try to make a charge, take that objective.
Yep.
And I brought the Hearth guard down here. So they've got quite a bit of shooting. They can target here or target the scouts. Either way, the scouts are going to die. Okay. The 2 bikes that were tied in combat with the lion, I've fallen them back here, and I spent 1 CP for an ordered retreat, which lets them fall back, shoot, and charge. So they're also pretty target-rich environment there.
Okay.
And yes, that is that. Let's get on to the shooting, shall we?
Okay, let's start shooting.
Let's start with the warriors into the line.
Okay, it's gonna be fun.
I'm spending my last CP here. I will try to see if I get it back, but I'm spending 1 CP for Ancestral Sentence. So I'm giving them sustained hits 1. And since they're targeting something with Judgment Token, they get sustained hits 2.
Okay.
And let me see on a 5+ if I get that back. I do not. So there goes my last CP. So here we are with the 8 shots from the ion bolt guns targeting the line.
Okay.
So 8 shots, sustained hits 2, hitting on 3s because judgment tokens. Now these are wounding you on 5s.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. So 5 at AP -2, 1 damage.
Okay. 3 Abendmans from the lion. He makes them all. You think you can bring him down with paltry weapons? Good try, little boys.
Now let's put the Hecaton also into the lion. So the heavy magneral. So hitting on 3s. Come on, 6.
Emperor's Shield, don't let me down. The Emperor's Shield holds up on a 6.
So the Matter Autocannon hitting on 4s. Sustained hits 1. Wounding on 5s.
3 up.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that one goes through.
So my Chthonian Berserks are going to put the Mole Grenade Launcher into the intercessors back there.
Okay.
D6 shots. Hitting on 4s because they don't have a judgment token. Wounding on 3s because strength 5.
I'll take it on the guy that's in cover. So it brings it under EP 0. So 3 ups. Make them both.
Hearthguard
Yep.
into the intercessors.
Okay.
So that is the plan.
This will not go well, but let's see.
So 15 shots from the Vulcanite pistols from the Hearthguard. Hitting on 3s.
So wounding on 3s. So 6 3 ups.
Now for the grenades, it's 5d6 shots. Cocked. Hitting on 3s. Oh, good God.
Oh, wow.
So wounding on 4s.
2 3 ups. Making them both.
So this squad of Hearthkin are going to shoot at the intercessors. Now, the Ironmaster, these two models, and the Thane are just outside of sight, so they will target their shots at the Black Knights. Okay, so against the intercessors, these are just the bolt guns. So these are hitting on 3s because the Ironmaster gives them +1 to hit. Wounding on 4s.
4 up. Nope, he's dead. And then I'll take the other 2 on the guy that's inside the cover. So 3 ups on him. Yep, he's fine.
Now for the 2 special weapons. So the Magna Rail, 4s, 2s,
I'll just kill off the one guy that was outside there.
and the L7 missile launcher. Fails.
Okay, I can live with that.
And now for the shots that are targeting into the Black Knights.
Okay.
The bolt guns.
Bring on the bikes.
So 6 shots from the bolt guns into the bikes, hitting on 3s. No, wounding on 4s.
That's
With judgment token.
Ah. So 4 ups. So the bike in the back dies.
Now the Ironmaster is going to put his Graviton rifle into the Black Knights.
Okay.
So 3 shots, hitting on 2s because he got the judgment token. Wounding on 3s because of the judgment token.
Okay. Well done.
So this squad of pioneers are going to put their shots into the scouts
Okay.
because I need the scouts dead for my secondaries. So let's start with the Matter autocannon, hitting on 3s with the 1 judgment token. Wounding on 3s.
3 5 ups is what I need.
The Gatling gun on his back, hitting on 3s, sustain hits 1. Wounding on 3s.
Okay, so I've got 3 dice in my hand.
So that's 6.
5 ups. Nope, he's dead.
I'm going to shoot the 2 pioneers into the intercessors.
Okay.
Hopefully that will just kill them. For the Matter autocannons, hitting on 4s because they have no judgment tokens on them. Wounding on 3s. 6 shots from the Gatling gun on top. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s.
Okay, I'll take it on the guy that's in cover. No, he takes a wound.
2 shots from shotgun each. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s.
Wow.
This is not going well. Now, let's try some charges.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. But just to summarize Jugs' charge phase, I failed to record. But Jugs made a 7-inch charge here on the bikes into the intercessors. So that got him to come around and take the objective from me, if he can manage to kill me off, which he most likely will. Additionally, the Berserks also made a 7-inch charge into my 8 wound line over there, as well as the Hearthkin Warriors that made a 5-inch charge, 6-inch charge into the line as well. So just with the overwhelming OC, I might lose that objective. But now the big decision is, are we going to make that 8-inch charge into the Terminators?
I'm going to take the chance.
Okay.
Let's see, an 8-inch charge. I'm leaving the fate in the dice. 8.
The dice like it.
We'll be back once I've decided what to do here and how which model I'm willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, you will be.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Cool. See you soon. Okay, so we're done with charges. Jugs has got all his models in place, but the lion here fights first. So naturally, I will be fighting first. And given that there's 16 bodies around me and I have 16 attacks, I'm going to go with 1 attack per body. And I will be using the lion's sweep profile from Fealty. So the red dice are going into the Chthonian Berserks, the black dice are going into the Hearthkin Warriors. Let's see what the lion can do. Hits on 2s with Fealty, with sustain hits 1. Wounding on 3s. Done with you.
Yeah, well, it's 1 damage.
2 damage.
2 damage, okay. Because the Berserks have a 5-up field of pain, and the Warriors will have a 6-up field of pain.
Okay.
So for the Berserks, the first one, 5 ups, 1 dead, and the next one, 1 lives on 1 wound. Let's just see if that one Berserk who died can fight on death. He will.
Okay.
Okay, so that's for the Berserks. Now, for the Warriors, I'll just roll these 6 and reroll successes.
Okay. Nope. 6
That's
of them
6
drop.
dead.
Okay. Now back onto your normal fighting.
Okay, now the Chthonian Berserks are going to fight back into the line. I'm just trying to force those 1s and 2s here, people. Okay, so they've got 3 attacks each and +1 for the guy with the more grenade launcher. So hitting on 3s, so 4s.
3 up and rounds. I will roll these one at a time in case I need to CP roll them. First one, he's fine. Second one, fine. Third one, I will CP roll that. He's fine. And the fourth one, he's fine.
So now the Warriors fighting into the lion, hitting on 3s with lethal hits and wounding on 5s.
2 up armors. Fine. No, he's fine.
So the Carl with his attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 5s. Nope,
just
1.
wound.
At
AP?
80 minus 2, 2 damage.
Okay, so 6 up. No, oh, the lion takes a wound.
Takes 2 wounds.
Okay, moving on.
Now for the bikes, just finishing the shots and intercessors.
Yep.
4 shots, hitting on 4s, I want to say, wounding on 4s.
3 up armors. Nope.
That
And
kills
kills the guy with the grenade launcher. Okay, but the sergeant is still standing there. He will fight back in a second.
And similar with the bikes into the Terminators.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
6 shots, cocked, 1 hit, not a wound.
Okay, let's start with the Terminators. I will have to pile in a little bit. Okay, so I've got all the chain fists. I've got the Apothecary and the 2 other chain fists into the Land Fortress. I have 2 Thunderhammers into the Land Fortress. The Ancient has a Power Fist, so that's going into the Land Fortress. Over here, he can't do anything. I've got 2 Thunderhammers and the Halberd going into the bikes. So let's start off with the bikes, shall we? So let's go with the Thunderhammers. 3 attacks each from the Thunderhammers into the bikes, hitting on 4s. So wounding on 3s with devastating wounds.
1 6-up armor?
Nope. That's 4 damage. Now that's 5 attacks coming from the Halberd, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 4s, because this is turn 6.
So 6 ups. No.
Nope, that's...
That'll kill 1 and put 1 on 1 wound.
Okay, close for the bikes.
Oh boy, I am not doing well this game.
Now into everything that's going into the Land Fortress. So the Power Fist into the Hecaton Land Fortress.
T12.
So wounding on 5s, nothing. Okay, that was quick. So 3 attacks each from the Chain Fist, hitting on 4s. Because these are anti-vehicle 3+.
AP2, he has a 2-up armor. So 4-up armors.
6 attacks from the Thunderhammers going in, hitting on 4s again. And that's 1 wound, but no devastating. Again,
So
AP2, 2 damage.
4-up. Nope.
Nope, that's another 2 damage.
So now the Hecaton will fight back with 6 attacks, hitting on 4s or 3s because you're judged. Wounding on 2s.
Okay.
So strength 8 with judgment token gives me +1 to wound.
Okay.
So 3 at 0 AP, 1 damage.
Okay, so 3 2-ups. Yep, makes them, they're all fine.
So much for that.
Okay. We'll do a full recap after we've done some battle shocks, and we'll be back after the movement phase for the Dark Angels in turn 2. Okay, so Dark Angels turn 2 did not score all too well, but I'm hoping that this will change this turn. So start of the turn, I drew my secondaries. I've gotten Storm Hostile Objective, which means I need to take an objective that my opponent's holding in no man's land, or even any objective. Given he's holding 4 out of 5, very easily doable. And the other one is a Tempting Target, which my opponent picks an objective marker and I need to take it. Given that he's got the bodies on this one, he's elected for me to try and take this one off of him. To which I said, okay, challenge accepted. Moving on to all my command phase shenanigans, I got 2 CP, one for the turn, one from Asriel. I decided to call Tactical Doctrine, so my entire army can now fall back, shoot, and then charge again. Except I spent 1 CP on my Black Knights, putting them back into Devastator Doctrine because that's actually where they do all their work. So that's basically it. And in terms of movement, I have basically fallen back with everyone, but just by an inch. So the Terminators here fell back from the bike and the Hecaton just by an inch. The Lion has moved a little bit and gone into the building there because there was a neat little opening there. Over here, the Intercessor Sergeant again moved back by just an inch, and nothing much done there. Over here, in terms of movement, the Hellblasters and Azrael moved up 6 inches here, and the bikes advanced. My dice still think it's Tuesday because I got another 2 on the advance. They ended up 14 inches over there. The Chaplain is just barely within 12 of the Hearthguard, so he can still get them with his Catechism of Fire. Every other bike is still within 18 of the Hearthguard, so that's good. And besides that, onto reserves, I managed to drop down my Reavers with my Primarch Lieutenant there in full boss armor. He's got a cool little pocket, so he's 9 inches from that squad of Hearthkin, he's 9 inches from that squad of Hearthkin, he's 9.5 inches from the Brochure Forge Master. Everyone else is behind him. So things are going to get real interesting now. And without further ado, let's get into the shooting phase. But before we get into the shooting phase, I should also point out that my Oath of Moment target for this battle round is my opponent's Hearthguard. So hopefully they're my next point and delete unit, so that'll be fun. Anyway, back to the shooting phase. Azrael and the Hellblasters will put everything into the squad of bikes here. So supercharging, I have 6 shots from the Hellblasters in the black dice and the 2 shots from Azrael in the red one. So let's see what we can do here. Hitting on 3s, and that is 2 sustained hits, which is awesome. Wounding on 3s.
But damage goes right through. What is the damage?
2 damage each.
Well, that's 2 dead bikes.
Let's move on to the squad of Black Knights into the Hearthguard.
Okay, I will be spending 1 CP for Void Armor, so reduce AP by 1.
Naturally, I will be supercharging. Okay, so naturally, my Chaplain is going to point at them with his Catechism of Fire. So 5s are what we want with Oath of Moment rerolls from 5 bikes. Wounding on 4s, because you're -1 to hit, but we want Devastating Wounds, or 6s with the rerolls. So you owe me 6 saves at AP2, and you just take 8 mortal wounds.
So 4 up armors. Okay, so that's 2 dead, and each of that will kill another 2.
So 2 shots from the Chaplain with the twin Bokan, both hit, and both explode actually. Wounding on 5s. Look at that, 4 5s. Perfect. AP1, but you ignore that.
So 2 up armors. Okay, so they're mostly dead. I'll take them off in a minute. Let's move on.
Over here, I'm going to put all the Bokans into this one bike that's on 1 wound. Hopefully plink that off.
I think it's safe to say he's dead. Let's just move on from there.
No need to roll that. We'll roll it off camera. And then we'll put the missiles into the Hecaton. So 4 shots. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s.
AB2, so 4 ups.
6 damage. For 2
damage.
Tuesday! Let's start with the Lion. Let's go. I'm a Luminous. 2 shots into the Chthonian Berserks. Hitting on 2s. Both hit. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound at AP3, 2 damage.
AB3 goes right through, so they have a 5 up Feel No Pain. Let's see how that does, shall we?
The Lone Intercessor Sergeant. 2 shots into the Berserks. Both hit. Wounding on 5s. Nothing. So, gonna point these Reavers into the High Carl over there because their bolt pistols now apparently have, precision. Yep, the bolt pistols have precision. So 5 shots. Wounding on 5s.
4 ups. Nope.
Oh.
He's left on 1 wound.
Okay.
So the card gets a 6 of field of pain from the medipack because the unit he's attached to.
Oh, okay. It makes 2.
Saves 2, so he takes 1 damage.
Nice. Put the lieutenant into the Chthonian Berserks. So he gets 2 shots from his bow carbine. Toughness 5.
So 6 of armor save. Nope.
Nope. 2 damage.
6 of field of, 5 of field of pain. Nope.
Nope. Nothing. 1 more drops.
I'll take it on the one with the more grenade launcher. So there's 1 wound left on that one.
And now the lieutenant of Phobos armor has a rule called shoot and fade. So once him and his unit have done shooting, they can move d6 inches. So they will move 3 inches. So effectively needing me to make 6-inch charges to get over there. Perfect. That's been my shooting phase. Not bad. Not bad. I'm decently impressed. Now let's get into the fun of it, the charge phase. So basically what's going to happen is everyone's going to end up right where they started, back in combat with the units that they fell back from. They're just an inch away in distance, so I'm not going to bother rolling them. I'm just going to move my models back and we'll see you back for the fight phase. Okay, so charge phase is done. Pretty much everyone's ended up where they needed to. A couple exceptions though. I did roll for the charge on my Terminators, ended up getting a solid 7 inches on the charge. So basically what that allowed me to do is actually just wrap around in case I don't kill a Hecaton, which is highly unlikely, but the Hecaton shouldn't be able to fall back. But the way I also did it was I sort of strung back just to make sure that my champion was still holding that objective, which means that one Terminator there cannot fight because he's keeping the champion in coherency. Over here, my Reavers got into combat. I had to roll for them because they were 6 inches away. I rolled a 4, so spent my last CP to make that into a 10. Didn't make full use of it, but the fact that they are in combat says something, and I might be able to grab that objective because you, sir, now owe me a battle shock check onto that squad of Hearthkin back there. But
okay, let's do a quick battle check. The leadership is 8.
And you're -1 to your leadership.
They rolled an 8,
so you fail battle shock because of that. So you now lost that objective. And moving on, the lion rolled perfect boxcars because he clearly wants to get back into the fight, but he just had to go a fraction of that distance. And everyone else basically just stayed where they should. Let's get into combat, starting with the lion. So I'm going to do the same thing, but 5 attacks into these guys, the Berserks, and the other 11 into the Hearthkin Warriors. So 16 attacks coming from Fealty Sweep with sustained hits again from the Lion. The red dice are going into the Berserks, black ones into the Hearthkin. Let's see what he can do this time.
T5 across the board.
So T5 across the board. So 3 to wound because he's strength 6. So you owe me 5 saves on the Hearthkin and 2 on the Berserks.
Okay, so on the Berserks for the first one, 5 of Fatal Pains. That's 1 dead.
Okay, that's the Mole Launcher.
1 lives.
Oh wow, okay.
Let's see if the Mole Launcher fights on death.
Nope.
No. Oh, so close.
Okay.
And the other 5 will just kill the 5 warriors right there because I'm not making save that many field events.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And let's get back into the Hecaton. So now I have 4 Thunder Hammers into the Hecaton. So let's see what they can do. Hitting on 4s. And now we want 6s. So that is 4 mortal wounds.
Okay.
Into the
Leave
Hecaton.
the Hecaton on 2 wounds.
And let's see if the Chain Fist can't finish it off. So we have 9 Chain Fist attacks. Hitting on 4s again. But anti-vehicle 3+, so wounding on 3s.
4 ups.
Oh, the 1. Would you CP roll that?
My last CP. Yes, I will.
Oh, and the Hecaton goes down.
Does he blow up?
Nope. Okay, so the Hecaton's down as well.
Alright. Well,
And that goes there. And let's see what the Reavers do if they can put a hole into the Hearthkin back there. Okay, so that's 20 attacks coming in from the Reavers with their combat knives into the Hearthkin. Now they are battle shocked, so it'll be interesting. Let's see what happens. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s for another 4 wounds. Just 1s, 2s, and 6s. There's nothing in between. So 6 saves at AP 1.
6 saves at AP1, so 5 up armor saves. Save 2. Now this is a squad with the field of pains, so 6s. Nope, that's 4 dead.
Okay, and let's see if the
LD will kill the last one.
The LD will probably kill the last one.
So that unit's also dead. So now my army's mostly killed except for one unit is not going to survive. So I will be calling it. But just before I go out, I want to see whether my 3 models here can one-shot the lion. He's got 6 wounds left. It is possible.
Okay. You got the +1 to hit and the +1 to wound. The 1 lone berserker.
The 1 lone berserker with 3 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s.
3 up and 1. Makes that.
Okay. Carl. 4 shots. Hitting on 2s. Wounding on 5s. No little hits. 2 at AP -2, 2 damage.
Okay. The Emperor Shield again. And it reflects a wound back at the Carl, killing him.
No, he's got 2 wounds left.
Didn't the...
He made this field of pains, remember?
Oh, yeah, he did. Okay, so he heals the Carl back.
And unfortunately, the moral victory is not possible for me. I cannot count it as a Pyrrhic victory. I think it's safe to say it's a flat victory for the Dark Angels.
Yeah, looks like it. At least in this turn, I did get the points for Storm Hostile Objective and Attempting Target. Okay. So we'll just do some sums, get down the final scores, and then we'll be back in the next turn.
Here we are at the end of the game. We are calling it at the end of turn 2 because I only have 1 unit left and I did not see myself winning a game with that.
Yeah, especially because since you've got a Primarch still walking around on 6 wounds.
Yes.
So that'll be fun. But look, it was a fun game. Gladius has a bit of a bite to it. It was my first time running Gladius. Next time I'll be keen on running the Unforgiven and seeing how it sort of tallies up.
We did tally up the score, just extrapolating forward, and the final score did come to 43 for the Votann and 74 for the Dark Angels.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, well, I must admit a few of the dice rolls went my way, but yeah, I don't know what to say, man. Not the best win rate at the moment for you in the meta.
No, it is not. But anyway, if you like what you see, do like and subscribe down below. Yep. You know where the buttons are. Let us know what you think of the few changes we made to our format. We will be paying attention to the comment section.
Mm-hmm. But until we see you next time, guys.
Remember, we are 6-sided Scribes, and remember, let the stories roll.